Good evening. So I'm in the middle of sculpting flowers to cast some molds of them. And I figured I would show you how to make a dogwood flower just like this North Carolina state flower. It's a quick tutorial. It's fairly easy, but we do have spring coming up. So what I do is, first of all, you have to always look, go online and look what the flower is supposed to look like. As you can see, it's gonna have 4 petals. So in order to make them look about the same, I like to make a coil snake, and then I will cut off. So I cut off the ends because they're not even. And then I cut the snake in half, and then I cut it in half again. That way I can assure that they're all the same size. Even though with flowers you have a lot of variability, but Mother Nature is pretty amazing, and the petals usually are more or less the same size. I'm gonna wet my fingers and roll them into balls. I'm only wetting my fingers because my clay is a little dry here. Only because it's been sitting out. Okay, so I just basically re-moistened it. You may not have to do that, it depends on your clay. Okay, so I have 4 little balls. And what I'm going to do with each one of them is I'm going to pinch it and make it into like a cup shape, like this. Okay? Now this end I'm going to pinch. And dogwoods, they have this like very deep cut-in at the end of each petal. And it almost looks like this. Okay? You can do this. I use this tool, you can use even a pencil, really anything. And then of course, you want to take a wet paintbrush and smooth things down. Especially with sculpting flowers, you always want to smooth things down because flowers are always very delicate and soft looking. Okay. You can also add some paintbrush strokes on the inside, so that will give you a little bit of a texture to the leaf. You probably can't see it on the video, but trust me, it's there. Okay. So let's see, I'm gonna put it where you can see it. So you're going to make 4 of these. Okay, I'm gonna go fast. So cup, pinch one end, indentation, smooth it down, and apply. You also have to notice the position of the petals, right? So with dogwood, it's all, they're like directly opposing each other. They don't really overlap with dogwood. Some flowers they do. So that's something that you actually have to pay attention to because it's gonna look like a different flower if you don't pay attention to that. Okay, here's another one. And last one. If you need to tap them in the middle, an eraser works really well. You can just kind of give it a tap tap and it will bind it to the clay. I make a lot of relief sculpture, so for me I tap it into like the mug walls and the, all sorts of bowls, surfaces, and okay. Here we go. Okay. And the last thing that you're going to do, after you have all of your petals sitting there, looking pretty, is you're going to take a bowl of clay. You're going to place it right in the middle. And this is a little trick that I have. I use a mechanical pencil, but I don't have any lead in it, so it's empty. There's no way you're going to see this, but it's empty. So there's like a little hole here. And when you poke your flower center with it, it's going to leave like a little dimple sticking up, which is perfect for making, they're not petals, what are they called? You know what I mean, in the center of the flower. it's a little late and I've worked a little too many hours today. You'll have to pardon me, but here you can see the result. And that is how I make dogwood flowers. And then what I do next is I take a good old cookie cutter and I place it around the flower. And I press it in a little so it cuts into the slab of clay that I have underneath. Now you can use like Play-Doh, whatever you want for this clay. And then I take my 2-part silicone and I take a paintbrush and I brush it onto the flower to get all the detail. And then I pour the rest in and I fill it into like, about halfway up the wall. And then I leave it alone for 6 hours. And that's how I make my flower molds as well as my animal molds and a lot of other molds. So I hope this was helpful. And if you guys want me to do a tutorial on any of the other flowers or just any other flower, just let me know and I'll make a separate video. Thank you so much and have a great night. Bye.